Hi, I'm Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the full yoga practice. This week we're working with the theme of purpose. We all have an innate purpose, and through the yoga practice, we can really quiet the mind and really tune into our purpose. And then we can go ahead and spread it wherever we go. We're also going to focus on the spine and spinal movements. Before we get started, though, I always practice with a couple of yoga blocks and a little towel, or you could use a yoga belt, or no props at all. So let's take a moment to get centered, and I'll meet you on the mat. So we've made it to the mat. Let's just take a moment to take one big breath in and exhale. And now we'll make our way to all fours. So just taking your time, and we come to the cat-cow position. And this is really valuable because as you exhale and round your spine, you're stretching the spine. It's a great spinal movement. We're stretching and pulling in the front to support the back. And then inhale, as you come forward, we're arching the back. So we're working the back muscles and opening the front. Just notice that. We'll do that one more time. Exhale, rounding. And we're just warming up. And inhale, coming forward. And now come to all fours and neutral. And we'll take it back to downward facing dog. So once you're in downward facing dog, just adjust. Especially if it's the first one of the day. You could bend the knees to get the back lengthened, especially if you were really rounded, and then try to straighten. And you can move through this. You could bend and straighten a few times. Maybe you want to roll the shoulders open a bit. Maybe you want to roll the other way. Just do what feels good in your body and notice that. Breathing, inhale, draw your attention to your breath. Exhale, draw the belly in. And now let's slowly make our way up. Pushing down with the hands to lift up. Just take your time here. It's okay to bend the knees as you come up. And then exhale, fold. And then inhale here, lengthen. Let's take the hands on the shins and look up and lengthen. And get really long. Engage the back. And now reaching out and up. And exhale, let everything come down to Samasthiti, standing still and straight. We're going to start some sun salutations. Sun salutation A. Inhale, reach up. And this is a great way to open up the body to get started. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Let's go ahead and take it back to a plank. I like plank because it really shows you how your body works to hold this position. So you really want to be lifted through the shoulder blades and the tail is under and gaze forward. I'm taking my knees down because I can maintain this line as I lower. I like to get the most out of every pose, out of every movement. I feel like that's my purpose. And come forward, and then it feels really good. You can keep your knees down if that feels better. Tail is under, or you can lift them off. Now you're working the back muscles to open the front. And then exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. And adjust. Inhale, come back to the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just feeling the body open up very naturally. Inhale. And exhale. And then let's slowly make our way up. I really like to push down with the hands. I feel like it's giving me a lot of strength, but yet a lot of opening too. And come all the way up and fold. Inhale, lengthen, reaching out and rising up. Exhale, hands down. Now I'm going to go into Surya Namaskar B. Give me a little bit of height, which I like. So we'll bend the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. And then from here, inhale, lengthen. And I'm going to lightly hop back. So I'm pushing down, lifting up. And the blocks really help keep that light. And then we're going to lower and rise and come through. And exhale. Let's step the right foot forward. Inhale. We're going to come into a lunge, so keep the back heel lifted. And we start to rise up. Let's bend the back knee, tuck the tail under, really feel that. Nice stretch on the hip flexors, angel arms, so you feel the back working here. Now we start to straighten the back leg and come deeper into the back bend, and then reach the arms. Here's your purpose. Reach, inhale, exhale. Inhale, rise up. It's a strong pose, reach. But there's a lot going on. Step back. And let's go ahead and lower. And rise. Coming through, big breath in. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left side. Let's step the left foot forward. Start to rise up. Let's keep your gaze down. Bend the back knee. Feel the under the butt engage and the top of the hip stretch. Engage in your back muscles. And then start to straighten the back leg. And then start to reach the arms. Reach. So much purpose here. Reach. So many things going on. And then we start to come forward and step back. Let's go ahead and lower. And rise. And come through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe here. Inhale. Really reaching. Exhale. Nice deep inhalations. Deep exhalations. One more. Inhale. I'm going to lightly hop up, but you could walk up. But feel you can do this really lightly. Lift up. And the blocks really help with that. Exhale. Bend the knees. Reach the arms. And come to stand. Let's do one more Surd-Maskar B. Bend the knees. Reach the arms. And exhale, fold. Feel how this height can also help you with the jump back. Lift up if you're doing it. And lift up. There's almost like a floaty action. And lower. And rise. And come through. Lift the sternum. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time we're coming into warrior one. Inhale. So the back foot now comes down. You notice the hip might turn out a little. That's okay. Keep turning your ribs forward and keep that butt under and the right butt back. It's the same purpose. It's just a different pose. Warrior one, strong. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Reach. Take the hands down and step back. Let's go ahead and lower. And rise. And let's come through to upward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left side. Stepping the left foot forward, taking the back foot down. So if that hip turned out a little, that's okay. Just try to get your butt under and the ribs forward. Reach. Warrior one. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, rise up. Reach forward. Take the hands down, step back. And we're going to lower. And then rise. Come through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Stay connected to your breath. Inhale. Try to roll your shoulders away from your ears. Reach. And now inhale, you can lightly walk up, or you can play around with finding a little bit of floaty action. And fold. Bend the knees. Reach the arms. And come to stand. Let's take the feet hip width. Take a moment to balance pubic bone and belly button. And then find your hip sockets as we start to come forward into a forward fold. So really extending your spine here. It's okay if your butt goes back a little bit, but try to engage the front of your legs so you really stretch the back of the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, trying to deepen the hip crease as you fold in. You can now just bow your head down. and breathe. Don't feel like you have to pull all the way to the legs. That's okay. Just be where you are, but make it full. So engage the legs. That's the purpose, is to really go to the depths that your body wants to go to. Inhale. Lengthen. And rise. And exhale. Samasthiti. And now I'm going to set up the blocks for some standing poses. I'm going to use them on the low level. You're free to use whatever level works in your body. And let's go ahead and step out. We'll start with Trikonasana, nice and wide. So we'll turn the left foot in and the right foot out from the hips. Reach the arms, open across the sternum. Exhale, coming into Trikonasana. So I move the block so it's under my armpit, or you could just use your leg if you needed to. And then I'm trying to really roll this left shoulder open as I turn my right ribs up towards the ceiling. So I feel that spine engaged and I'm really opening across the shoulders. And I feel the inner thighs too. You might feel hamstrings in your front leg. Rise up. We're all a little different. Inhale here. Open across the chest. Exhale. Trikonasana. So now take a moment to really open this right shoulder and maybe feel that back working a little bit. Feel the legs, the inner thighs, the hamstrings maybe. And then inhale, rise up. And now we'll go to revolve triangle, Pavrita Trikonasana. So Pavrita Trikonasana, the hips are facing this direction. As we start to come forward, really pull the right hip back. You want it, it's a twist, a spinal twist, but you want to try and keep it in the spine, not the hips. So feel the spine, the mid to upper spine turning, but the hips are strong. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. And then inhale, rise up. And we'll go to the other side. That pose also requires a lot of balance and hamstring openings. So reach the right arm up and start to come forward. As you pull this left hip back, you might feel the hamstrings really working, come across. And remember, as we twist, it's from the mid to upper back, not the hips so much. And then reach up and you want to roll that right shoulder open. Breathe, inhale, let the breath bring you around. Exhale. And inhale. If you really take the time to notice, there's so much purpose. There's so many things going on in every pose. So as we come into Warrior Two, it's a little wider, but it's open. And we come in a strong warrior pose. So everything's opening and I'm reaching, opening the shoulders. And then from here, we're going to come into Utthita Parshvakonasana, side angle. So I'm going to take the forearm here. You could stay there. Some people like to go here or here. I'm going to use the block. Now try to open this left shoulder, and then we're going to keep that external rotation as you reach over your ear. And breathe. Feel the turn from the right ribs up to the ceiling and gazing upward. And then I reach up and come all the way up. You can feel the hips really working there. We'll go to the other side. So I feel like melting into Warrior Two. So everything's really open, but yet lifted. Open across the chest, breathe. And then we'll take it into Utthita Parshvakonasana. So you could go here, again, many variations. And reach up and open. Roll your shoulder away from your ear and then reach. Breathe. Breathe. You can take your gaze up. And then inhale and rise up. Let's do Pavrita Parshvakonasana. So that's the twisted variation. We'll come down to the back knee, a little forward of the kneecap, and we're just going to take it into a twist. So it's okay to kind of really pull that left shoulder around at first and see how far around you can get. Then I want you to take your hands together in prayer position and try to turn away from that. So your back is in alignment with your big toe. So you could looking down to your big toe as you lift the back knee, pull the right hip back, and start to turn. So strong hips here. Breathing. You could gaze straight ahead, down, or up. Now use the glutes on the front leg. Really rise up. And we'll go to the other side. So coming down, you could use your hands too. Make sure you're a little forward of the kneecap, coming across. So it's okay if your shoulder rolls forward a little, internally rotates. Just really get in there as best you can, and then try to turn away. So now I'm pulling away and I'm aligning my spine, long spine here. As you turn now the ribs, turn. Breathe. You could look straight ahead or up or down and rise up. Whatever's going to help you to balance. So let's come into Prasarita Padottanasana, spread out, forward bend. Inhale here, exhale, come forward. Feels like you're sticking the butt out, and straighten the legs. Let's take the hands through. Feel free to use a block if your head doesn't come down to the floor, and just make a right angle at your elbows. And here, try to roll your shoulders away from your ears and engage the legs. So really feel the front of the legs working and the back of the legs stretching. And then inhale, lengthen. Take your hands on your waist and rise up. And we're going to do goddess pose next. So nice and wide. As we bend into goddess pose, feel like you're opening your knees out and you're not leaning forward. You want to try and stay straight up as best you can. Let's take it into the back bend variation. So engage the back muscles. Breathe. Inhale, trying to open those knees. Exhale, you should be feeling inner thighs working and external rotators working. Well, the inner thighs stretching. And breathe. A lot of inner thigh stretch. And rise up. And then from here, we'll step everything together at Samasthiti. And I'm going to move the blocks out of the way. So we can do Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So find a place where you could lean back or you could have the support of the wall if you wanted. So the right leg will come up and we're really pressing down through the left leg for grounding and support and strength. And then grab the toe. You could always hold on here. Reach out and just see how that feels. Now we're going to open it out to the side. Feel that standing leg. If you wanted to, you could use your arm out to the side and really find a back bend here. It's kind of fun. And then we'll bring it back. And then try to balance and hold the leg. Now find your gaze a little down. Hold the leg and lower. Other side. Let the left leg come up and grab the toe. You could use your wall. Reach, reach, reach. And then let's go ahead and open. Really lifting, opening. Maybe you're back bending. And then we come back. Find your gaze a little down. Hold the leg there. Breathe and lower. Let's come to the front. Samasthiti. Now we're going to make our way down to the floor. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale here. Look up and lengthen. Let's just take it back to a downward facing dog for a moment and breathe. Inhale here and exhale. Just notice how your downward facing dog feels now. And then we'll come to the knees. And let's come to puppy pose. So keep your hips above your knees as best you can. And we're just trying to open the shoulders a bit and kind of do an upper back bend. Like feel your chest melt down towards the floor. Maybe you can come to your forehead, maybe not. Some people like to come to their chin, but only do what feels good in your neck and in your shoulders, so you might stay up a little bit. And then from here, we're making our way down to Sphinx pose. So we come onto the elbows. Your elbows could be shoulder width or a little bit wider, and have a sense of pulling the elbows apart. And with the lower body, you really want to take the tail under, so you're not sticking the butt out. There's engagement there, and you're pushing the tops of your feet down. Keep lifting that sternum. Shoulders are going down and wide. And then engage your back muscles. So even though you're using your arms here, see if you can be a little lighter on your hands and really use your back muscles, your upper back muscles. The tail is down, really engaging. And then slowly lower. And then from here, let's go ahead and take the hands by the sides and just take a breath in and feel like you're reaching long through your legs and long through your arms as you rise up. Rise up. And slowly coming down. Those are all your back muscles. You can do that again, or those of you who want to, you could bend your knees and we'll come into Dhanurasana, bow pose. Inhale here. Exhale. I try to touch my big toes, but it's not necessary. I just don't want my knees to splay. Lift the sternum, lift up, and release. And from here, let's make our way back onto all fours. So we're gonna come together for Virasana. And this will be a nice meditative pose. So back bends really build the energy up, you might notice. So I always like to create a little space here behind my knees. And I sit quite high, just because I have osteoarthritis in my knees. But this feels really nice. So find a height that works in your body. And we'll take Yana Mudra, the mudra of universal knowledge and individual knowledge, or intuition and inspiration coming together. And just close your eyes and just notice, what is your purpose? How is this practice serving you? And where are you now? And can you just come to a place of calm for a moment? And then slowly opening the eyes, we're going to take this into a back bend. So let the angel arms happen here. Shoulders are down. And then you reach, lift up, and come together. And from here, we're going to come onto our knees and come into Ustrasana. So taking a moment here to set up blocks if you're going to use them, or you could tuck your toes under like this and use that height, or you may not need a height. So from here, just get a sense of pushing down with your feet so that you feel the back of the legs engage. And let's try to hold a neutral spine as we just go back. No back bending yet. Just go back and then come up. You just feel how you feel the stretch here. Now, as we come into Ustrasana, just take it to a point where it feels good in your body. So I want you to get that same feeling. You're pushing down through the shins and the sternum lifts up. And let's wait to take the head back. Don't take the head back too soon. And maybe you just stop here, and this is your Ustrasana, but you want to really feel the pushing down of the shins and the opening of the front. So if your hands make it to here, that's great. Lift up, keep lifting up, and feel the evenness in the back bend. No strain in the neck. Lifting, really try and find that. Lift, and then inhale and rise up. And then from here, let's just come into a nice child's pose. So open the knees and reach the arms forward. And breathe. Inhale and exhale. Trying to just sink in here, breathing. Exhale. And then we'll very slowly make our way around. And we're going to come into probably my favorite seated twist. I think we all have our own, but this is Ardha Matsyendrasana. So we'll bend the left leg, cross the right ankle. This twist just always feels really good in my spine. So if this is really hard for you and you're noticing that your right butt is coming up a lot, use the block on the wide level and then come up a little bit and see if you can get that right butt on the block. And you could also use blankets and then see if you can lift up as you come around. So I really want you to feel that. So you could take your crook of your elbow here and trying to draw this right leg across. With your right hand, you start to walk back and then turn the left ribs to the right. Such a nice twist. Some of you might find as you come around a bit with your breath, inhaling and exhaling, you could take the elbow to the other side and really get some leverage. Inhale. And exhale, turning the left ribs to the right. And then inhale, coming back around. And just take a moment, see if you can cross deep into Gomukhasana legs. Just notice, can you do that? If you can, it's really nice in the hips. Maybe you want to lean forward and rising up. And then we'll go to the other side. So on the other side, it's going to be the right leg in and the left ankle. On this side, I'm going to demo without the block, just so you can see. But you want to have both sitting bones, this left side especially, down. So if your butt came up when you came off the block, it's probably a good idea to stay on. And then we'll come across here and lift up. So I'm feeling this energy. And then I lift up. And I'm walking this hand around. Walk the hand, lift up. Now I feel like I can come across and lift up. But it's okay if you stay here. Inhale and exhale. And come around. I really feel like that pose serves my purpose. It brings a lot of joy in my life. So let's cross tightly as best you can and sit up. Those of you who want to can come forward. And then rising. And let's take this to Dandasana. And sitting way up, we'll come to Paschimottanasana. So if your hamstrings are tight, this is a place where you could use your prop. You could bend, get the low back engaged, and then straighten the legs and find surrender. Breathe. Some of you don't need that. Breathe. Really try and straighten your legs. Breathe. Shoulders away from your ears. Really letting go. We've done a lot of back bending, so it feels really good to forward bend now. Inhale, lengthen, and then we'll release. And we'll slowly make our way down to the floor. So sitting up, inhale now, exhale. Pull the belly in for support. We're rounding the spine down, so it's stretching the spine, coming all the way down. And then we'll bend the knees and take a moment here. This is really nice for your spine if you curl. So you use the under the butt muscles and the hamstrings. You're lifting up, lift up. Keep pushing up. You feel the opening here. Lift. The neck is long, right? It's not forward or back. Lift up. Maybe you want to move the feet in. Maybe you can get higher that way. Really feeling that. And then at some point, reach the arms. If you wanted to, you could lift the heels to get higher. And then we're going to curl down. Curl. Draw the belly in and really curl all the way down. And then let's take the feet together for a moment and the knees out. And just reach and try to open the knees out as best you can. Try not to arch. Just notice what's going on there. Reach. And then we'll slowly bring everything in. And we'll go through our inversions here. You could take a block and put it under your hips, or you could just have your legs up. Or you could have your legs against a wall. But it just feels nice to reverse the blood flow. Make sure your legs are engaged, the front of the legs. Some of you, it's in your practice to go over to Halasana. If that feels good in your body, make sure your neck stays long. Some of you might want to do shoulder stand. If that feels nice. You could do variations. You could also always pause the video. Take your time here. I'm going to bend into a little Karna Pudasana. It feels nice on the spine. Slowly coming down. And we'll all meet here. And then we'll bend the knees. Lift the hips up. Shift them to the left. Take the arms out to the side. Our final twist. Take the legs over to the right. Trying your best to stack that left knee over the right. Turn the ribs. Breathe. And just breathe. And we'll come back. Go the other way. Lift the knees up. Take them over. And I'm turning the left ribs to the right. Inhale. And exhale. And coming back. And then just take a moment. You could either hug in, you could do a happy baby, whatever feels good in your body. And then we're going to make our way into Shavasana and tune into that purpose and just be peace and light. And stay here. And I'm going to go through some inspirational quotes on purpose. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because the world needs people who have come alive. Purpose is the reason you journey. Passion is the fire that lights the way. You were put on this earth to achieve your greatest self, to live out your purpose, and to do it courageously. So go ahead and share this inward purpose wherever you go. Namaste.